The history of tattoos. Evidence that prehistoric people knew and practiced tattooing are tools that were discovered in France, Portugal, and Scandinavia. These tools are at least 12,000 years old and were used for tattooing. Oldest surviving tattoos are the ones found on Ötzi the Iceman mummy found in the Ötzi Valley in the Alps and dating from the 5th to the 4th millennium BC. We also know that the Germanic and Celtic tribes also tattooed themselves. The mummy of Amunet from ancient Egypt, or the mummies in Siberia, dating from the end of the 2nd millennium BC, that are found also to have tattoos on them. So tattoos were known around the world very early in human history. Celtic tattoos were common among Celtic warriors who thought tattoos intimidated enemies during battle. Tattooing in the Polynesian culture. The tattoos were located on the body or determined by one's genealogy, position within the society, and personal achievements. One thing that we would know is that people without tattoos were on a lower social level. The basic mythology regarding tattoos in the Polynesian culture is that only high-trained shaman or tattooer in the religious ceremony would tattoo the tribe, who was an expert in the meaning of tattoos and skill of the art. Before getting a tattoo, a person would experience a long period of cleansing. During this period, they would abstain from sexual intercourse and contact with women. The tattoo practice was generally marked both rites of passage and the important events in a person's life. The additional tattoos also made a warrior much more attractive to women. After 1771, sailors sailing back to Europe would have these tattoos in the Polynesian style. And one thing that we noticed was that tattoo appeared in European literature. The one thing that was happening is that the sailors that were heavily tattooed spread tattoo art throughout Europe, late 1700s. During the Civil War, tattoo art became very popular among sailors and soldiers. Also, to be able to identify bodies in the battlefield. One thing for sure, tattooing started to grow within the military community, but was still an oddity in the late 1800s. One thing happened. In the 1900s, people started getting tattoos for different reasons. Now, it was considered a taboo during the early 1900s and in the 1920s. But in the 1930s, people started to get small tattoos, like tattooing their new social security number so that they could keep track of that number by having it tattooed on their body. Seems kind of strange now. And then in the 1940s, during World War II, it became very popular within the military to also get a tattoo and make sure that it was some kind of remembrance of what they experienced during battle. Now, in the 1950s, tattoos took another slump, but in the 1960s, it started back again with people getting peace signs and flowers and little hippie designs that were really kind of cool at the time. In the 1970s, it became much more respectable to go ahead and get a tattoo and have that somewhere on their body, arms, legs, and women were getting tattoos as well. Then it became in the 1980s where it became very popular to have bright, almost neon-style tattoos on your body, and it became very acceptable at the time. Then in the 1990s, it became very popular to do the tribal style tattoos, and later on in the 2000s, the dreaded tramp stamp became popular for women. Now, tattoos vary from American traditional to old school to new school to black and gray, and I gotta tell you, they have all kinds of different meanings. And one thing for sure, that tattoo art is more popular today than it's ever been.